Isaac Paredes does not hit the ball hard. He doesn't barrel the ball very often, and he doesn't swing the bat hard. He's near the bottom of the league in these different Statcast measures. Despite this, he is having a great hitting season and is unironically one of the top third basemen in Major League Baseball. On the season, he has hit 16 home runs, has a 793 OPS, and an OPS plus of 127, which is well above the league average. Among MLB third basemen, he ranks favorably in many different stat categories, but not in things like exit velocity and barrel rate. Most other solid hitters hit the ball very well off their bats, but not Paredes. How is it that he's been so good this season, even if he can't seem to generate high exit velocities? Paredes averages an exit velocity of 85 miles per hour on his batted balls. This is 4th percentile in MLB, meaning that it's worse than 96% of qualified hitters. His expected stats, which are based off of batted ball data, are terrible. When you look at his spray charts, the thing that immediately jumps out is his knack for pulling the ball. He pulls the ball well over half the time whenever he puts the ball in play. His average launch angle this season of 24 degrees is second in baseball only to Dalton Varsho, who himself is an awful hitter. This has led to a lot of home runs with weak exit velocities in the low to mid 90s, and all 16 of his home runs have been pulled to left field. Most of these have had exit velocities below 100 miles per hour, and most have traveled less than 400 feet. He wants to pull the ball regardless of where it's pitched. If the pitch is on the outside part of the plate, Paredes tends to hit weak fly balls to left field, but when the ball is pitched inside where he likes it, he can really drive the ball. He doesn't hit his home runs very hard, but he typically hits them to the shallowest area in the ballpark, which is right down the foul line. So that's what his home runs look like. He pulls most of his singles and doubles as well, with exit velocities even lower than those home runs. His average single looks something like this: a ball hit between 85 and 87 miles per hour off his bat, and with a launch angle between 18 and 20 degrees. This soft line drive formula is the thing that's tricking Statcast and the expected numbers that I talked about earlier. It's for this reason that even though it looks like Paredes is due for some big regression, it never comes. He's beat the Statcast formula for success by pulling the ball constantly and hitting it at the right exit velocities for it to drop in for a hit. It's not as though he pulls literally every ball though. He does go to the opposite field some of the time, and it's the same type of hits as it is to left field. Even though he has had success to right field in terms of ground balls and line drives, it's almost August right now, and the farthest fly ball he's hit to right field this season traveled just 341 feet and was caught on the warning track. Even to center field, he doesn't have a lot of success, as most of his batted balls out there are high fly balls straight to the center fielder and not very deep. Isaac Paredes has broken Statcast. The vast majority of the best hitters in MLB this season have high exit velocities and high barrel rates. What that means is that they're just crushing the ball. Paredes doesn't have any of that stuff and is still keeping pace with them in terms of power numbers. He has as many home runs as Brandon Nimmo, whose average exit velocity of 92.6 miles per hour is in the top 10% of MLB hitters, and whose barrel rate is in the top 20% of MLB hitters. Paredes has more home runs than O'Neal Cruz, who is known solely based on his ability to scorch the ball off the bat. Even though his expected stats have him in line for pretty big regression, he's never going to regress as long as he keeps up this formula for hitting. In all of Major League Baseball, there's not a single other player like Paredes. He really is a fascinating player like that. Most people think that to have a lot of power, you need to hit the ball hard and at an ideal launch angle. Paredes avoids this by hitting most of his home runs right down the left field line, where you don't have to hit it very hard to hit it out of the ballpark. On average, he hits his home runs at 99.3 miles per hour off his bat, and with a launch angle of 31 degrees. He doesn't hit the ball hard, but is still having really great success that's led to a lot of power and home runs. Definitely like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and thanks for watching this video.